Today we're talking about foreclosures. We're having more and more people call us and ask us that if we know of any deals, if we have anything coming out that is something they could flip or they can get a foreclosure. And honestly, I got to tell you, I really think we're seeing more and more foreclosures. So I thought I would share with you and let you see what I see and hear my thoughts. My name is Lisa. I'm a realtor with Blue Ribbon Realty in Crown Point, where we service all of Northwest Indiana. And I am a local realtor. I'm licensed. It does not necessarily mean I am your realtor. In order for me to be your realtor, we need to have an agreement, either a listing contract or a buyer's agency agreement. So hopefully I can earn your trust. We're going to go in here. We're in my MLS, and we are going to do a search throughout the whole MLS. And I'm actually going to add a field, everything active, and I'm going to put in real estate owned as a special listing consideration. We see 16 things come up. So these are current on the market where the listing agent has said these are considered real estate owned. That is a way to say foreclosure in my world. And it does not necessarily mean that it was done correctly, but 16 show up. And if I put it on the map, we can see where those are. Looks like we're getting a little bit more scattered throughout here. One in Crown Point, one here in Maryville, one another one looks like it's Maryville or Cal Township. Let's see, what does that pop up as? 45th Avenue in Gary, that's 125,000. Couple in Lake Station, Hammond. So what else I can do is I can go into Realist. And so the Realist screen, for what they call number of homes in foreclosure, they do a temperature map. And that temperature map, I'm here in Crown Point. I actually put in my office address. That's a good way for me to kind of centralize the map. And it looks like we're seeing in south suburbs of Chicago, Dalton, Calumet City, Chicago Heights, they're seeing a larger number of foreclosures. So this is a temperature map. And the greens, the darker the green, the more foreclosures. Yellow is a huge amount, but I believe that is more Chicago right there. So we're seeing some of those. Darker blue is also, there's more. So in Crown Point and Maryville, don't want to do that. Delete. In Crown Point and Maryville and Hobart, they're all around the same temperature, and that is about 25 to 50 homes are in foreclosure in those locations, which is actually still on the low end because those are all larger towns or cities. We're seeing the smaller, like Cedar Lake, St. John, Cherville, those are in the lighter blue, so that's less than 25, so that's a very positive number. But nothing out of the ordinary. Now, if it was more looking, if Northwest Indiana was looking more like Southeast Chicago, Crete, Chicago Heights, everybody's got a color here that is darker or green heading toward yellow. So it's majority of light blue in Northwest Indiana. It just shows, now the more populated, the more we're going to see, because this is just a number, not a percentage. But it's not alarming, but I do think that we're trending to more foreclosures. And something else I can do is go to the Lake County Sheriff's Office. You can pull up the sheriff's sale listings, and how that works is this will show us what's on the docket for next week. When a house gets foreclosed on, what happens is they don't make their mortgage payment for so long, and then the mortgage company will sue the owner for full payment of that loan. That's your judgment. The last day somebody owns a house before it's foreclosed on is that day of the sheriff's sale. Once it goes to sheriff's sale, and if somebody bids on it and wins it, it reverts back either to the bank or to the new owner, whoever was the winning bid. And in a lot of cases, that is the mortgage company. That's another video for sure. But this is September. So Lake County share sales are the first Friday of every month. So the September one has shown up, and we're seeing these are all the attorneys that are involved, the case numbers, the owners that are being sued because they have not paid their mortgage for a long time, not just a month, a long time. And there's the address in the city. And if we're looking at this, we're seeing there's a good number here, but it's only a little over one page. At the height of, I would say, 2008, 2009, when we saw the most foreclosures, there would be 8 pages of homes going to the sheriff's sale. Easily 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10, 12 pages going to that sheriff's sale. So I think this is still considered low. This is what's on the docket. For the ones in pink are the ones that got canceled out, but this is what is going to sheriff's sale right now in about a week. I don't think you can actually see the next few months, which those can still change, but I don't see there being very many foreclosures now. Do I think it's ticking a little bit up? I do, and I'm going to tell you why. I think in the beginning of COVID, we had very low interest rates, and then the interest rates basically doubled overnight. And we still have people buying, and we still were in a sense where people were buying and probably using more money than they should. And then with inflation coming and during COVID, we had people losing jobs or their job hours are getting cut. I think that put a lot of financial stress on households. So I do believe, since the mortgage rate has gone down since last October, it hasn't gone down significantly. I do believe that stress is starting to build up, and I do think we will start to see more foreclosures. So this is something I want to keep an eye on. And this is one great way to reference back, is by looking at all this today. I hope that was helpful to you. I know a lot about foreclosures because when I first started in real estate, all I did was foreclosures. I worked for a real estate office that had the HUD contract, which was for HUD government-owned foreclosed properties when they would get sold back to the public. So I learned a lot in my very beginning years of being a realtor. And even though we hadn't seen for the past 5 years or so, it's been historically low numbers for foreclosures. They're still around. There's a handful of them, but I will tell you, I feel like they're coming back. Now, if you are interested in investing, if you're looking for a fixer-upper, because most foreclosures are fixer-uppers, let me know. Reach out to us. All our contact information is in the description, and we'd be happy to help you navigate those waters. Thanks so much for watching.